Everybody's there already. Hi, guys.
Oh.
Welcome to the new homestead.
It's our new house.
It's our new house.
Our old new house.
Our new house.
New old house?
We're just going with new house. I don't know what else to say. It's been ours this whole time, but now we got it back and we're living here and we're loving it, and there's been a few comedic moments that you get to hear about tonight. Thanks for joining our show. We're so glad you're here. We are in a whole different scenario tonight, and I got to be honest with you, we might have a few technical difficulties. You might get a little buffering going on, and it's just all a part of our comedic errors that has happened. So stick with us. We will get it cleared up, and the time we will have laughing, it would be hilarity. So let's welcome a few people. We got a lot of people already here.
Yeah.
Noah's Ark, Laura Richards, Crazy J, 1984, Pam Walker. How are you? If you're not getting your notifications, turn off your notifications and then turn them back on, and that seems to fix it sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Noah's Ark, trucking it up. How are you, man? Tana Terry is here. Amy T, Nana Ange J, and many. So
Books
guys,
are people too.
Books are people too. Cynthia, how are you? Kelly, how are you? So, we thought, Nancy, how are you? We thought we would start off the evening by talking about our new feature that we're using. We have been invaded by more than enough trolls that not only do we have a troll slayer who's behind the scenes troll slaying as we speak, but we have also are trying out a new feature, or a new feature to us, that will kind of it will filter potentially inappropriate comments. So if your comment gets filtered, it's not because we don't like you, it's because we're trying out this new feature to see how it works.
Hey, Two Family Homestead.
We're very excited because we're home.
I'm excited.
It's pretty cool. It's awesome. The things that you see behind us, most of them have been in storage, and we got them out. And there's a lot of fun that has happened in the last 4 or 5 days, and it's been exhausting. It's been exhausting. I'll tell you this right now. My family has handled this move with incredible grace and charm. The new feature works.
Grandma.
That's awesome. That's funny. For those of you who are watching the rewind, there's a live chat going on, and Bandana Grandma just tried the new feature, so it came up as all hashtags and squiggly marks. It's quite funny. But we got to tell you this. I mean, of all the people that we experienced during this move, our kids were the biggest heroes of the day. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have not. They did not stop. We're gonna tell you the story, but we just wanted to start out by telling you they were amazing. I mean, we love our kids anyway. Yeah. We probably brag about them not enough, but they did an amazing job. So basically, where we're gonna start is we're gonna start at Friday.
I'm sorry, I have to laugh. Our son bought a bell for Walter the cat, and now he's like super annoyed because he's not stealthy anymore, and like he's walking around with attitude now. He's just
clunk, 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 clunk. He's jingly.
He's jingly.
And Walter gets to be inside.
Yeah, well, he should be happy about that because he really did not particularly care for outside.
Yeah.
He was like, what was it, Melman from Madagascar? Nature, it's all over me. Ah, get it off.
Yeah.
So.
He's more of a fuller figured cat and is more scratchy bitey than huggy lovey petty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he bit me today. Like he was
for no reason. It was awesome.
It was not awesome. He was hungry, and I was busy making the kids breakfast, and the cat can come after the children, and I guess I didn't pay enough attention to him when he was rubbing against my leg, and he turned around and he bit me in the foot, and I'm like,
So anyway, we started out the day Friday with getting a call saying that our meeting had gotten bumped. The carpet was being cleaned for the house, and we weren't going to meet until later in the day. And Heather and I had been like, "Let's do this, man! Come on!" And it just wasn't happening. And so to get that call was a little bit frustrating. But we got the call. We came up here. We looked around, and we took a walk through the house, and it was structurally it's okay. There's some things that we need to take care of because it's been neglected by us because we owned it, but really because it's been in a rental. And but it was intensely dirty. After being cleaned, it was still very gross.
Well, my oldest boy was like, "Mom, there's a difference between single guy clean and mom clean." And there was, we moved the stove. There was grease all over the back of the wall where the stove is. We moved the stove out. There was a whole nother, enough fur to build another animal.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was sticky. The cabinet doors were dirty.
You could have knit a sweater from all the hair you found.
Well, I found dog hair in the refrigerator. The doors were all gross where, I guess, they kicked it to, when you're taking groceries, then you kind of take your foot and you kind of kick the door to open it up for you. Well, it hadn't been cleaned. All the light fixtures were gross. Everything was sticky, and I'm not sure how sticky got all the way into the hallway, and especially when it's 50-something-year-old single guy.
Just grime.
Yeah.
It basically was just neglected as far as cleaning, and so Friday we spent all day cleaning, all night cleaning. We stayed here until probably 9 or 10 o'clock, just wiping everything down, getting everything that we could clean. And then first thing Saturday morning.
We had a question, how long were they there? We've had 3 different renters in this house. So there was a lady who was here for about, a year?
Yeah.
And then there was 2 college guys that were here for about 2 years. And then there was this guy who was one of the boys' dads. And he was here 6 years. So is that
7
right?
7 years.
6?
I thought 6 or 7.
Something
anyway,
like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The timeline gets blurry after a while.
If you guys, just for your information, so that we can see it better, if you have a question, can you put it in capital letters? Because these comments sometimes fly by really fast and we don't see them. So we're not trying to ignore you. We just,
no.
It gets going and we get talking and then we forget.
Well, and there's a like we've talked about before. There was a list of things that you have to get done before you move into the house. Like you have to get the electric set up, you have to get the water set up and the trash set up. Well, in Cincinnati, type slowly, folks, so they can read the questions. There you go, Sharon. That's what we need. We need comedy. Well, in Cincinnati, Duke Energy does both. It does both. It does
gas and electric.
Gas and electric. Okay. Big screen. That's funny. Thank you, big screen. Very funny. But here in Dayton, they separate them, and there's one company that does electric and one company that does gas. So I forgot to get the gas set up, and we've been running on cold water for the last 5 days.
I was like, Kevin, we don't have any hot water. What happened? And so we're going, okay, so we called Dayton Power and Light, and we made sure we had the water set up and everything like that, and then forgetting that Vectron does the gas, Dayton Power and Light is only the electric. And we're like, oh, shoot. So we have, tomorrow they come to turn the gas on. So.
Yeah, tomorrow they turn the gas on, but a long time away from home must be weird to come back. Yes, it is weird to be back, but it's also wonderful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wonderful for us to be in our own home with our own stuff, in our own place, with our own things.
Yeah.
Doing our own video. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we've been thinking about the folks in the disaster areas and Harvey and Florida
coming up, and
Irma, and the other one behind it, Jose or Josh, I forget which one.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is a lot of things that you have to get ready. Well, we looked into it, and we're going to get Wi-Fi, but we haven't gotten it yet, so we're doing everything off of our our data package and personal hotspot right now. So if it's patchy, that's probably why. We just, starting Saturday morning, we did it. We went to the storage bin that we have had for 18 months, and we began the process of taking everything out.
We will take that threat on, Donna Terry. So she's threatened to come visit us. We would love it, and we would feed you too.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Two Family Homestead had a tornado hit up this way Monday night. Just missed our youngest's house. Wow, that's nerve-wracking.
Angela McKay was asking, she says she's new to YouTube, what are trolls? Trolls are people that come on and say like inappropriate things in your live streams, and sometimes it's hard to catch them. So we have people we call troll slayers who will, when they see something come up that they think might be questionable, they'll just delete the comment. So there are people out there that just, that's what
everyone on the live stream's explaining it to her too, so she gets all the,
I'm sorry, you're being inundated with information all of a sudden. So
we can't forget the Montana fires. That's right. We won't forget that either. So
and we also need to pray for Danny at Deep South Homestead, because
that's a big deal.
I haven't seen any updates since this morning, but he was having like a stress test done because he had what did he say? Was it cardiomyopathy? I may be wrong in that, but I forget what it was. But the good news, though, is Hewitt Homestead had their baby.
Awesome.
Little Jesselyn came into the world. It was yesterday, I think. So that was exciting to see the pictures. I saw them on Facebook. I'm like, yay!
Okay, we just got word that Danny is home.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's good. That's good.
Danny is home. Danny posted this AM, but I heard he was home.
Okay.
So that's good. All right. Well, we're praying for our Homestead friends and community, because we know that there's a lot going on out there. It's crazy how many people are. There's something furry rubbing against my leg, and it's not.
You cannot be hungry, and if you bite
it's the cat.
We'll eat you for dinner. So
I'm not gonna eat my cat.
No, he's there. We'll eat the dog first. No, I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
No, we can't eat my dog. She barks at people.
So anyway, let's see. Saturday we got there. We opened up the storage bin.
Yeah.
And we started loading things into the van and into the moving truck, and it just got overwhelming so quick. I mean, there was so much stuff. So many memories came falling out of that stupid storage bin. It was just, you had to take a breath. You had to pause and go, okay, God, we're going to be with you. And we just got everything loaded up that we could. We had to make 2 trips, but we shoved all of the little stuff into Heather's
minivan.
Heather's minivan. So, sorry, I was looking at something.
Oh.
I got distracted. The good thing is that Heather's brother came. One of Heather's brothers came and helped us.
My younger brother came.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too. Okay. Cool. Thank you for the sub. Subbed you back. Awesome. All right. Cool. The biggest thing that I think we experienced was just fatigue. I mean, just a ton of just overwhelming tiredness.
Well, and it was funny because my younger brother was like, gosh, I must be getting old. He goes, I'm looking at lifting this dresser out of the back of the truck, and he's going, okay, is this going to be a 2 ibuprofen night, or is this going to be 4?
Yeah.
So, but he was looking at Kenny. He's like, I remember when I had that much energy, and he's younger than I am. So
yeah, just coming back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah.
And all of them did a great job. I mean, by Saturday night, we were done with the storage bin, and we had moved out of it, and we no longer have to pay for it, and that's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
But we still had the truck, and so we went back to. We actually stayed overnight here when the first night. Everybody slept.
We were too tired to go back.
It was brutal.
The kids slept on the couch and the
floor.
They brought some couch cushions up from the basement because we have a set of furniture downstairs, and they just slept on the floor. And what was it? It was probably like 9:30, and by 9:37, they were all out. I mean, they.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. It was exhausting. Let's see. The next morning we got up, went back to Heather's mom's house, and got everything out of her house. It was a bunch of little stuff. I mean, a lot. And you know, it's funny when we move because a lot of people thoughtfully take time to put things in boxes.
You've never packed that way.
I've never packed that
way. You're like, okay, we're going to take this drawer and just dump it in this box. And so I don't know where anything is. So I'm like, So.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the crazy version of, I don't know, Tetris. Christmas.
Oh,
when you open these boxes and you're like, have no clue what's in them. You're like, hey, that's where that went. I've been looking for that. So.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't go to great lengths to do that because the cost of it is just so much to buy all the boxes and to get them all organized. We actually had built walls in the moving van with like mattresses and box springs and grills and whatever random thing we could find so that stuff would move forward. But on the floor, we just stacked all kinds of canned food. And
well, Ray the Explorer said, he goes, you never know how much you have until you have to move.
Oh, I know.
And,
it's
you
way
know, and
crazy.
we have dwindled it down. I mean, when I was putting the kitchen together, because I've got pretty much the main living areas are together now. But when I was putting the kitchen together, I was like, nope, we're throwing that away. Nope, we're throwing that away. You know how, like, it seems like plasticware and stuff, like when it sets for a while, especially like in a storage unit for some reason, it starts to degrade and it gets that gross, sticky feeling. And so we just threw all that stuff away because it's like, you know, if I need something for storage, I can just go to the store and buy it. But it was nasty. It was beyond, like, it just started to break down. And I'm like, that doesn't seem good. No. I'm not sure I want to have those around. That seems like that's not good.
No. So. And it only happened once, folks. What happened was we knew going into it, we'd kind of made this plan that I would be at the truck and you would be in the house kind of telling people where to go. But it only happened once where I overheard Heather go, don't even open it, just throw it away. I'm like, honey, no!
Well, it
was awesome. We knew it was going to happen, and we prepared ourselves.
We had some boxes that were in my mom's barn that had gotten wet, and so I'm like, I don't even want to open them. I just want as long as it doesn't have my cooking stuff in it, I don't care. Like my stainless steel pots and pans. So, but we started going through it in the house, and like now I'm starting to go through some of the kids' clothes because it's been like a year, and so what they wore a year ago, like they can't wear now.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, but
and Miles pulled out a shirt and it was like here on him. And he was like, I don't think this fits.
No,
I'm like,
no midriff. Sorry. But it was that. I think there was a box of Christmas decorations, and I was sitting there thinking, okay, we need this to decorate the house with. Because we won't have any kind of greenery to put around the railing and stuff. And Heather's like on target. She is.
We don't have.
She's thinking correctly.
Well, we have the outside of the house, but we can't even use the Christmas tree that we used to have because I had a Christmas tree that was 9 foot tall.
9 foot tall.
We only have 8 foot ceilings in this house, where before we had a very open ceilings. So I think and then I told him, it's like, I think I'd rather just do a real tree, and then that way we can be done with it, and I don't have to pack it away because it's enough to pack the Christmas orange. Now, when it comes to Christmas. Like, I'll put it all up, and then by the time Christmas is over, I'm like done with Christmas, and I just throw it in a box. I'm like,
except for your village.
Yeah, my village and some of the ornaments that my grandmother painted me and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just been. The basement. We still have stuff, but it's not
Don't
as
go
much.
To the basement.
It's not as much as I thought it was going to be, and even in the garage, it's not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. We
purged quite a bit.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. And it's all sitting out on our curb.
Yeah,
a lot of
we
it.
look like a big bunch of hill jacks with all this
We have to get a
trash.
bulk pickup because they don't.
Which is nice. Like, we don't
Yeah.
have to take it to the dump. You can just order a bulk pickup and put anything out there, and they'll take it.
It is cool.
So, yeah.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see how we homestead here, how we are self-reliant where we are.
Yeah.
We're hesitant to do any outside videos yet, just because we want to take time to make sure we know how to shoot it so it doesn't show our address and it doesn't give a lot of information away. But overall, we're gonna be in a different scenario than we have been in the past, and we hope we honor our homestead community by not assuming too much. And I think one of the assumptions that can be made is that, you know, just because we're in an urban environment doesn't mean that we don't love homesteading. It just means that others get to do it more fully than we do, and it'll be different our way. Like today, out of honor of our homesteading and our self-sufficiency, I planted kale. It'll probably die, but I planted it. Yeah. And so I just wanted to see if we could do that because it's considered, I think it's considered a cold weather crop.
It's a cold weather crop, yeah.
I'm learning about
kale
plants.
Seems like
so.
it's an all the time crop, like only like when it snows. It doesn't do well, so.
But we also have a couple of favorite things that we'll get to. We're not going to bring those to you yet, but those are some of our things that, you know, we love.
Yeah.
So anyway, that hopefully will honor the self-sufficiency thing too.
Yeah.
What we need to do is we need to kind of wrap up our story, because our story leads into something we want to do, which is show you around the Goin Batty kitchen a little bit.
Yeah.
We want to turn the cameras around on our kitchen and show you what everything is, and just kind of, Heather's going to walk you through the plan. So I'm going to grab the camera and turn it around, and she'll kind of show you where everything is, and I'll excuse the cords because we have all these power cords laying around for our live stream. But we're going to show you the Goin Batty kitchen.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Well, because we haven't been able to do, like, I had these grandiose plans of doing like meals in a jar and stuff like that, and I never got to it. Just with the move, it just did not happen. And for right now, until I get everything established, it might be a few more days until I start doing like cooking, like videos in the kitchen.
Yep.
But I just want to show you, because some people have asked about, well, how would you set up your kitchen? So I've got my kitchen kind of all set up now the way I want it. So, yay, coffee!
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, our son made us coffee, so I'm now excited about it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. This is the kind of the fun part. Why don't you show them the pie safe and stuff?
Okay, so it's an
Kate, will you grab the coffee?
Yeah. And so this is my, we got this when we lived in Maryland. We went to Lancaster, and we got the Amish made us a cabinet, because I didn't have a pantry in the house in Maryland. And I had no place to store anything. So, but this is where, you know, I've got all sorts of storage. This is where I store.
Here, let's turn our camera around real quick. You don't have to look at me longer. Here,
so
check this out.
This is where I store all the stuff that I've canned. We've got some.
Someone is calling you.
But where I've got like just some, you know, we've done a lot of like of those dinners that are in bags, just because it makes life a little easier. And then I've got a nice pantry here, and it has like all of my baking stuff here, like all of my pastas, rice, stuff like that, coffee. My giant thing is saran wrap.
That's industrial. That's restaurant size.
That's the Thrive that we use the most. Not this. That's the dog's treats. So I told my son I didn't want it on the table.
Yep.
And then it has a real nice spice rack here that I can just put all my spices in, and then so it's
a small fridge. It's smaller than the other one.
It's not as small as I thought it was, but I am here on the side. I got some command hooks, and I put the kids' chore charts. I hung them. We put them in these plasticky paper protectors, and that way I can write on them with Sharpie, and then just take, if I need to, I can take rubbing alcohol and just take off, because they have certain chores that they do all week, and then certain chores that they just do during the day, and then they'll check them off when they're done. But each kid has theirs hanging here.
Yep.
And then there's the fridge, not the fridge, the stove here.
Yep. And this stove heats up a lot faster than the other one, right?
Yeah, the one at my mom's house didn't heat up quite. This one boils water actually pretty fast for being a smooth top range. And so the sink, which has got coffee grounds in it. But
yeah, just ignore the cleaning units for now.
Because it was we did clean up, but he made a mistake with the coffee and had to clean everything out. But so here is I've missed this, my KitchenAid mixer. I have missed this, and I forgot it had a bigger bowl than the one that was at my mom's house. But so like all of my mixing stuff is kind of with the mixer. So all of my my bowls here, this is like canning stuff. This is the attachments for my mixer. So anything I would use where I would use that is kind of right here, along with the blender and stuff like that. So all that stuff is here. And then down here is all of my pots and pans and their lids, things like the griddle, the waffle iron, and my crock pot go down there. So anything cooking related goes here.
There's our broken dishwasher.
Yeah, the dishwasher is broken. We're gonna have to replace that. But these are all of my like thinner things, like my muffin tins, my cooling racks, my cutting boards, and then because the cutting boards are there, all of my knives are right above this. And then like all of our plates and like storage containers are up here.
And all of my coffee mugs, but that one that you can't see right there because it has.
Yeah.
That one has my name on it.
Yeah, it has his name on it.
So. That one right there. We have to show you this side of it because the other side has my name on it.
So but and then like so here is, because this goes with my mixer, all of my stuff that I would need with my mixer is right here in this drawer. And then this one here is like your miscellaneous stuff, like my microplane, my can opener, my juicer, my potato ricer, you know, those other things where you're not quite sure, because I don't want those with my knives. Son, why are you bringing the chicken stock out?
I need it to get your milk.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
What? So, and then there's the silverware is here, which I would rather have the silverware over here where the knives are. But I can't because this drawer is the only one big enough to hold the silverware. So, and then the dish towels are here, aprons are here, and this is nobody's allowed to touch the stuff in this drawer because it's all mom's. Like, there's Kevin's grandmother's meat grinder, like pencils, which are a rare species in our house. We have them for about a week and then they're all gone. So I am the keeper of the pencils. So yeah,
that's it.
Well, and then we have like the corner cabinet there that holds all of my cookbooks.
Yes, and that was...
And the toaster.
You know, let's brag on that corner cabinet for a minute. That was a wonderful gift from Big Family Homestead before they left.
Krista gave that to me.
Krista gave that to Heather.
Really sweet of her.
So we have a lot of love for Big Family Homestead. But yeah, this is the Goin Batty kitchen. We just wanted you guys to get a chance to see it. Sorry about the herky jerkiness of everything. It's fun because when we first got married, this is the kitchen I surprised Heather with, and oh, did I surprise her! This all had old cabinetry in it and everything in it. So one day when she left for her mom's, I ripped all of her old cabinets out and added these white ones that you see right here. All of this I installed. All of this I installed. All of the silver back there. I mean, pretty much the whole kitchen. The wood on the what is that called back here? Beadboard. All of that. Everything pretty much that you see in here, I put in back in the day. So I'm pretty excited to be back here because I know the history of it. And in knowing the history of it, we can celebrate it and we can really, quite frankly, I think before we might have taken advantage of it a little bit. And we probably didn't have an appreciation for it in the way that we do now. So let me take a second, reset the camera so we don't make you guys sick. But I wanted to show you guys just a little bit of our Goin Batty kitchen because that's kind of the beginning of the.
Somebody was asking me if my paper plan worked out. For the most part. Like, especially in the kitchen, it did. But the living room furniture, either I remember the furniture being smaller or the living room being bigger. So it works, but I'm very particular about how my furniture is, and it needs to kind of, it's just off just a little because I wanted Kevin to have his lounge chair upstairs in the main area. And so that was the only thing that kind of threw a wrench into everything. But I want him to have his chair, so I don't.
There I go, throwing a wrench into everything.
I'd rather him have his chair and be comfortable than me have my have it my way. So yeah. So but yeah, so it kind of worked out, but but in our bedroom it worked out well. In this room it worked out well. And and it's working. It's working in the living room, even with the extra chair. I just had to move some other things around, like because I have an old steamer trunk that I was going to put beside the fireplace, and it doesn't work there, so I had to put it someplace else. And we have a old treadle Singer sewing machine that I was going to put someplace else, and it didn't work there, so I had to put it like in the little entryway that we have, and it works fine where it is now. So that's the only thing that really was any different.
Right.
So yeah, and even with the boys, their rooms, having that visual for them was actually really good. Yep. So
now, to be honest with you, we're not going to show you the kids' rooms because of the privacy thing, but of the one that surprised us the most, I think all of us had talked ourselves into the idea that this room was smaller than it actually was Katie's room.
Katie's room turned out to be bigger than what we thought it was.
She has a full-size bed. She has 2 dressers, 2 smaller dressers, 1 large dresser, and then everything under the sun, like a set of shelves. We just kept saying to her, listen, honey, you're going to have to pare it down a little bit because it's not all going to fit in there. And lo and behold, it all fit, and she knew it was going to fit. She had confidence. She remembered how big her room was before, because it's the same room she had when she was growing up here, when she first got the brothers started coming in. Yeah. And she kept looking at us going, do we have to keep them? I thought we were taking them back to the...
She was okay with them. It was Jack that when Miles came, because Jack is our child who's very, frank. He's frank, and there has to be a plan. And it was funny because I had this doll that was the size of a real baby, and we would put the doll wherever the new baby was supposed to be. I did it starting with Katie so that they could get used to, like, you don't climb in the crib because there's a baby there, you don't get in the swing because there's a baby there, you don't sit in the car seat because there's a baby there. So we had this little doll named Joey, and we would keep putting him wherever the baby was supposed to be. And when Miles was born, my mom looked at Jack and was like, well, are you ready to take your brother home? And he was like, no, put him back. And I said, oh no. But it was funny because I think in his mind, like, Joey already took those spots, so we didn't have room for this one. And he didn't understand, because he was real little, he was like 22 months old. Like, he didn't understand that Joey wasn't the real baby. This was the real baby. But he was very like, we don't have room for him because Joey's there. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And so anyway, there's someone stopped right there by my car.
No.
Oh no, it's not. Okay. Sorry, I'm still getting used to our environment. Our second night here, maybe our third night here.
I'm sorry, Coco Noel. Yes, the treadle sewing machine. Well, it needs a part, but Kevin's grandfather actually, like, he modernized it in the 50s. So it has a motor on it. The timing needs to be fixed on it, but it does work. I have actually sewn on it before, so
it's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool. We'll show it to you someday.
Yep, so, we'll get it out. Yeah. Have Katie show it to you and do some sewing on it. I lost my train of thought. What were we going to talk about?
I don't know.
I don't either. Well, you take Brad's lead and biff the firehead on moving day. Oh, I did not cut my head. I know that looks like that. That right there is actually a zit recovering. It is not a cut. I did not bump my head or hurt myself. My issue's more with my knee than anything.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Yeah, I'll just do that. Is that better?
I don't think that's any better, honey.
Not good. Okay. No, I I don't know. This was a...
Look at my Wonder Woman mug. Wonder Woman. It's not a moving wound. No.
It's not a moving wound, no.
So, yeah. But we were doing a tour of the kitchen, and then we're done. So
we're done with the tour of the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the garden update is this. There are still amazing vegetables coming out of the garden over at Heather's mom's house. We went by. I went by today after work and got a bunch of the vegetables that her and her sister had picked. Not Heather, but her mom. And they had a ton of vegetables that we brought in. So we're really excited about that. But one question we wanted to get going in the live stream was, how do you begin prepping your garden for wintertime? I planted some kale today. I am very skeptical as to whether it'll live or not, because we waited too long to plant it.
Well, we forgot about it in all the moving, and it was sitting on the front porch, and it all was like,
yeah. So. And green beans started coming in late for us, too. I mean, we still got plenty of them, and they're going to have plenty of tomatoes, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still plenty out there, but we probably shouldn't drink coffee at the same time. It creates that awkward silence. But I think what we need to think about is, we have rabbits, which makes great fertilizer for our gardens. But what do we need to do to get garden areas ready that we're going to use next year? Mm-hmm. How do we need to get them ready for the wintertime? And what do we need to do?
And I think we have to be careful, too, because, how do we get the area ready and then not offend our neighbors by having, because we've seen, Arm's Family Homestead, where he'll take a tarp and he'll just lay it in the area where he wants to put a garden. Yeah. Well, if we leave tarps laying around here, we're on a corner lot. So,
yeah, the city of Dayton will have an issue with that.
Yeah, they'll have an issue with that. So just trying to figure that kind of stuff out. But, yeah. So my mom is actually, we moved and she was out of town.
Yeah.
She went with her sisters on a camping trip, and then she came home for a night, and she went out of town again to go visit her brother. And so I don't know if she's used to the quiet, because she has my sweet aunt is an extrovert to the nth degree, and she loves to talk, and she loves to be around people, and she loves and she's traveling with her, I believe, to go visit my uncle. So she's not going to have quiet. And my mom is like the exact opposite. She's the extreme introvert. And so she's like, I love my sister, but she talks a whole lot. And I'm like, well, but she's got a heart of gold, and she's just the sweetest lady. She really is. And she is a lot of fun to be around. So,
So a couple of people are mentioning what to do in the gardening. They cover theirs with mulch and leaves, 2-family homestead.
Oh, okay.
Long and narrow rows with lawns in between. That's been what we've done in the other house. Good evening from Nova Scotia, Canada.
Good evening, our friends from the north.
We watch all of the Devos on the Rewind every evening. God bless you. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
I am blessed. Thank you so much. I've got my team.
Cover strawberry beds with chopped leaves. Okay, I have a question. So we're starting with just grass.
Yeah.
And we're going to put raised beds in.
Thank you to Dolphin Man, by the way. If you haven't seen him, pray for him. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. But he gave us a book on square foot gardening. And I think we're going to try to maybe move towards that method so we can get more bang for our buck.
Yep.
I guess. And but preparing the ground underneath, do you just put that black cloth down, that weed barrier, and then build your beds on top of it? Or how do you do that? Yeah. Because we're not in a place where it gets so much rain that, because I've heard people say, well, you have to anchor your beds to the ground, because if you get a lot of rain, they can actually move on you.
Yeah.
And we don't ever get that much rain.
We get enough.
But not like that.
I think the biggest thing that we've got to do...
material. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. That's what we've got to do. When we look at the flower beds in the front of the house, which we'll show you guys as we go, when we look at the flower beds in the front of the house and the flower beds that exist around the house, there's not nearly enough. We've got plenty of room in those flower beds to do vegetables and to do nice, appealing vegetables. But what we really want to do is get some raised beds built and set for the winter. So there's a lot of composting going on and a lot of good stuff. That soil is getting ready for the season to come in the spring.
I'm sorry, I'm going to write some stuff down.
Yeah, go for it.
Because people are, you know.
You got some good advice coming through, don't you?
Good advice coming through, yeah.
Awesome.
So.
Please put it in all caps, too. Hello from London, Ontario. Our Canadian friends. Sorry, did not mean to stumble over that.
It's not Canada.
No, it's not. I didn't mean to say that. It's good to see you guys. You can have chickens, goats, and horse cows in Kingsport, Tennessee, where I live. Wow, that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, we got to do mulch.
Kingsport, Tennessee. I think I have family that lives close to there.
Yeah. Hey, Florida Singularity. How are you, man?
Have you? We were praying that you didn't get blown away by the hurricane.
We need a hurricane update if you can give us one.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some things that we need to get ready. We're dealing very much with raised beds. We're going to be dealing very much with raised beds in the middle of what was a lawn. Because there's some sunny parts of our lawn we got to take advantage of. We've got to tear down some old brush. I mean, there's a honeysuckle bush that just got out of control because no one was paying attention to it, and so we've got to cut that down. We've got vines that we've got to cut down.
Smell wonderful, but I hate honeysuckle bushes. They are so evasive,
very evasive,
and especially the ones around here. Like they're not. I mean, and people even say like they're really not good for like the animals or anything because the branches are too small. Birds really can't nest in them, and animals can't hide in them and stuff like that because the branches are so weak. But they just take over everything and they grow so fast. And it's like we're gonna have to go out there with like loppers and an axe and try to dig it out of the ground because I don't want it there anymore. You know, and it'll mess up the neighbor's fence if we don't do something about it, and we don't want that.
All right. So Bandana says my raised beds are soil only. Built up more with compost every year, no framework, just trenches between them. They end up looking like graves. I have no problem with that.
That sounds like fun. Like, what's that lady burying in her backyard?
It's funny.
We could really weird out the neighbors.
Yeah, no doubt. Coco Noel says, at Donna, yes, and Goin Batty now the do drop in. Okay, I don't know what that means, so by all means expound.
Donna Terry was saying that she plants her tomatoes in horse poop.
Oh, yeah.
And they're huge. I would have believed that because my grandpa used to get truckloads of horse manure when we were kids and put it all over our gardens, and we had some of the biggest tomatoes you ever saw. Oh, yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Arsenic and old bandanas.
It's a reference to a movie. Arsenic and Old Lace. It's a movie. It's an old movie with Cary Grant where he has these two aunts who they're trying to be kind to older gentlemen who don't have who don't have families, and so they poison them and bury them in the basement. And they're like these sweet little old ladies. It's a hysterical movie. It's kind of dark, but it really is funny. And he has a crazy cousin who thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt. And every time he goes up the stairs, he's charging up San Juan Hill.
That's too funny.
It's hysterical. So.
Well, Florida Singularity's giving us an update. Thank you. Keep praying. Hurricane is about 4 days from hitting Florida. Central Florida is expected to be hit Sunday evening. So we got to be praying. And then there's one behind it. Pam Walker's asking, has your address changed? It is still the P.O. box for now, but it will be shifting a few things around. But for the most part, it's the P.O. box. And then Bandana Grandma says, Amy, I am tempted to make plant markers that say carrots lie here. Okay, that's funny. Kevin, you had to be there. Charge! I don't get it.
He would. The cousin in the movie, every time he would run up the staircase, he would go, charge! And run up the staircase. See, you don't watch enough old movies. I was like addicted to Turner Classic movies when I was like 13, 14, 15 years old. I loved that. And when like anything, my kids would get upset when I got...
Don't drink the tea.
Yes, they would poison it with tea.
Well, she's using coffee, so I think we're okay.
When my kids were little and we had cable, I would watch Turner Classic movies and they'd be like, are you watching Gray TV again, Mom? I'm like, yes.
Okay, so enough comments have gone by that I can say I'm curious. I want to see the movie.
It's a funny movie.
We'll rent the movie.
It's a funny movie.
Okay, we'll watch the movie. That way I am clued in on what in the world everyone's talking about. Because it's like line after line. They're just shooting out one-liners.
He has a brother that looks like Frankenstein, and it's hysterical. Yeah.
Old movies are awesome. That's cool. Well, awesome. Good deal.
Yeah.
We have these raised garden beds that we got to figure out, and then we've got to figure out the dirt that's going in them. But guess what I did? I did something that hopefully won't get me into any trouble, because if it does, it's totally stupid that it would get me in trouble. I brought my worm farm.
He's all excited. He's got a worm farm, and it sits right outside our back porch so that we can put all of our scraps.
I feed it every day.
Yep.
And I don't have enough worms in it, which is really funny, because I just don't. I was watching, I think it was an old Alabama gardener, and he said that you need to have like over 1,500 red wigglers in a worm farm to really chew through all that stuff. I have like 4. I think there's 4 worms living in there.
Well, we got it from Brad and Krista because they couldn't take it with them. So it had a lot more worms than what you think is in there.
So she got a corner cabinet.
Yes,
and I got a worm farm. Yes.
So, yeah.
No, we got they were goofy. So I'm excited because I think that'll create some really cool castings that we can start planting with when it turns into spring. But we're not going to make the mistake again.
Somebody was asking me where I got my Wonder Woman mug. I do not know. It was a Christmas present for me. So, and I think my kids got it for me. So I'm not sure where it came from. Do you know where it came from? Meyer. Okay, so there's a grocery store in this area called Meyer, and it's pretty much in like Ohio, Michigan, maybe Wisconsin, kind of that area. Indiana might have them. But that's where they got my coffee mug. And I love my coffee mug. It's awesome.
Worm poo, horse dew. We're going to hide that. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep. Worm poo, horse dew. Seeing a theme here. Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yep.
So, are we going to do our favorite things now?
Yes, I have to go get mine.
Yes, you go get yours, and I'll talk about mine. So, forever and ever and ever, I have been, since we've been doing our live stream, I think I've been talking about this cookbook. And this cookbook has been in storage, and I have so missed this cookbook, but it is my absolute favorite one. It is the America's Test Kitchen TV show cookbook. I have never made a recipe out of this cookbook that my family did not like. And I made a lot of it. I mean, I still even have tags from, where I've tagged certain things. But this one actually is from 2010. And it's still, it's awesome. And what I love about it is it'll give you, like, the explanation of, like, maybe where the recipe came from and why they made some of the little tweaks that they did to it, and, why it makes it better. And it is just this, it's got great pictures in it. I love pictures, but the recipes are really great. And I just, like I said, I've never made anything out of this that my kids weren't like, yes, this is awesome. So their cookie recipes are great. Their pie recipes are really good. So the America's Test Kitchen, the complete America's Test Kitchen TV show cookbook. Like I said, mine's a 2010. I know they probably have newer ones, but these, if you can get your hand on one of these, any of them, they are awesome. So,
100% cool.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite thing. Now, we've been wondering how we were going to be a little bit more self-reliant and be able to get the grass cut and use some boy power to get some things done. So we started looking for a manual powered lawnmower, and this is what I mean right here. That's it right there. You just push it. Let me turn the camera around a little bit so you can see it. That is a Husqvarna. This one in particular is for the golf courses, and you just push it and it mows your lawn. And so that's my favorite thing. We're going to be using that to cut our grass. Here's the thing. My mom got it at a killer price She found it at a estate sale, and she got this one retails for $162, $169, something like that.
Yeah.
She got it for
$18.
$18, and the guy was asking 24, and she talked him. She bartered down. So mom is awesome.
His mom is pretty awesome because his mom has been in the banking business.
Yep.
And she's a little kind of like the Godfather.
Oh yeah, like, she knows a little bit of everybody.
She knows people. Like, you know, you need something, you need your wash machine fixed, she knows a guy. You know, you need your grass cut, she knows a guy. You need your roof fixed, she knows a guy. You need someone rubbed out, she probably knows a guy. So, but she was so proud of herself. She came over yesterday with a cousin of Kevin's, and they were showing us how it worked and everything, and they were just beside themselves, like happy. And I mean, I was too, because it was like, this is really kind of a cool thing. It'll help them burn off energy. It'll get our grass cut. We're not having to, you know, pay for gasoline. So, which was really kind of cool. So,
and it's all powered by the Goin Batty kids.
Yes.
Yep, they're going to be the ones that are doing it.
She leaves a trail of horse heads. So, no, not quite. Your mom. I said she's kind of like the Godfather.
Yes, she does. You don't want to mess with him. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. No, it was a true blessing. My mom is excited for us. Heather's mom is excited for us too. All of that. But is there a problem?
Yeah, this just reminded me of it. Someone was talking about that they like old church cookbooks. The one, I haven't found my one yet that was from, he has a family reunion where there's two parts
the Bean Cookbook.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where they have this cookbook, and it has all of these family recipes in it, and it's not on the shelf, so it must be downstairs somewhere.
Is it in your
I don't
Foot
think
Locker
so.
thingy? Whatever it's called.
Yeah, that'll be another one. Once I find it, that'll be another one that'll come out that you guys will get to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Goin Batty runs on kid power. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Katie.
Run, Forrest.
What? Goin Batty kid powered? I will be in my room.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of my favorite things, and we're gonna be coming up with some more. I'll share with you this. We're sitting in one of my favorite things. I'm so glad to be back here. The drive to work has not been intolerable. I've been back and forth from work for a couple of days now. Learned a little bit about making it even shorter.
Yeah.
And so I'll be taking a different route now, because I think it's a lot quicker route. And so it has been quite the learning experience for our family to go through what we've gone through. Just don your goofy boots when operating that mower. You know it. That's right.
All she needs is like a weird pair of boots and one of those umbrella hats.
Yep.
People are like, oh, it's that girl. Katie's gonna be the stink eye right now. She's like, no.
No, I'm confused. I don't understand.
It's a Walt Disney thing, right? The Goofy.
I don't know.
Yeah, Goofy. The Goofy when he. Never mind.
Okay, I guess
I don't understand.
She's covering her ears as if in pain.
No.
Anyway, we've confused our troll slayer. Oh no, what will we do? Upcoming projects are, we're gonna figure out how to power the garage with solar energy. All we have is lights that we need to turn on and a garage door opener. Now the garage door opener can pull quite a bit of power, so that we may not pull that off. But I'll be satisfied if we can even get some of the lights on that. So Kevin knows cartoons. Yes, I do. Yes, I do know cartoons. Thank you, Bandana. I know a few of those things. So anyway, I'm hoping that we can at least power the lights out in the garage with the solar panels that we'll be doing. So I've got some resources.
You had some resources.
And these have been in storage, so I get to celebrate them again. But I might have shown them to you already.
Someone was talking about The Joy of Cooking. That's a good cookbook too.
That is a great cookbook.
That one's like, it's like family Bible size. It's like this, or at least the one that I had. I had one at one time, and I don't know what happened to it, but yeah. But I will say, like that America's Test Kitchen one is probably one of my favorite cookbooks. But we've got I've got some pretty cool ones. So okay.
So here's one of my favorite resources. And if you think of chickens as food, this is not necessarily the kind of chicken you want to get. These are extraordinary chickens. These are rare breeds. These are breeds that you probably wouldn't think of, hey, I'm going to eat that, but they're excellent egg layers. This is the Book of Extraordinary Chickens. Yes, that is Phyllis Diller in the front cover. There's no business like show business like no business I know. Anyway,
wait, that's not Phyllis Diller. That's Ethel Merman.
Ethel Merman, but here, that's Phyllis Diller. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, Phyllis Diller smoked a lot, right? Was that her thing? I can't remember. But look at the hair. It's uncanny, isn't it? I mean, that is Phyllis Diller. Look at this chicken. It's singing. Oh, I'm gonna get an egg for you. But yeah, I mean, it's just a great resource. If you want to see some out-of-the-box weird chickens, here's the funny part. You see that one right there?
This one.
That one right there. We had one of those in Maryland. That's a Seabright, and has a bunch of different versions of it.
Yeah.
But
well, it was funny because that book was given to him by his mom too.
Yes, it was.
She is very, like, when she thinks about gifts, she wants to give you something that she thinks you'll really like. And when we had chickens, like, she was beside herself tickled when she gave that book to him.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I knew you'd like this.
Yeah, domesticating chickens as pets, I could see that happening. But here's kind of like a cross between like a devil chicken and a antlered chicken.
It looks like
look at the comb on that thing.
A deer, like the bucks.
Yeah. It's like, when does he lose his antlers? Good Lord. I mean, it's just a fun book, and I highly recommend checking it out just for great coffee reading opportunities. Oh, this is the weirdest one right here. This thing is freaking me out. Right there. See the ones without any hair on their necks? They're naked necks, yeah. So, anyway, that's one of them. And then, my friends, if you do not have this, you need to get it, because it is the country living, the encyclopedia, the illustrated encyclopedia of country living. It has everything in here: beekeeping, canning, preserving, cheese making, disaster preparedness, fermenting, growing vegetables, keeping chickens, raising livestock, making soap, everything that you'd want to know about the great frontier. So anyway, I just think this is a great resource, and it's a great read, and it's got a lot of information in there about everything. I mean, it's just got everything in here, babe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. So,
yeah.
Anywho, that's where we're at. Those are our resources for the night. This is the time of the show where we're going to open it up to you guys to ask us any questions you want. We probably don't know the answers to them, but we have a lot of homesteading friends. We'll make stuff up. No, we have a lot of homesteading friends on the channel that'll help us answer them. And we're going to go to the live chat to see some of your questions and comments. Noah's Ark says fermentation is good for your immune system.
That's why you
eat all the yogurt.
That's why you felt better when you had kombucha.
Oh, yeah. I love kombucha.
Yeah, I've tried kombucha twice since, and I did it for I don't know, 6 months, and it did great, and then after that it just started growing fur, and I'm like, that's not good. So yeah. Not So I've got a starter that was given to me by Leah Michelle over at the Resistance Chicks, and I'm waiting. I'm thinking that maybe it was because I had a glass jar that I did it in, but it had a plastic spigot on it, and I'm thinking maybe it was the spigot. So I'm just going to do it in a glass jar with no spigot on it and see if that makes any difference, because I don't want to waste the SCOBY.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The cartoon Goofy using his mower. I remember that cartoon. I watched that cartoon all the time. I remember that very much. Some people can't eat fermented foods. Yeah. Well, listen, it's got a whole bunch more other stuff in there than that. I'm telling you, this is a great book, and we'll put a link in it. If you guys are connected to us at all on Facebook, that's where we're going to leave some of our Amazon links, and we'll leave them also on our Goin Batty blog. Yeah, on our website, the Goin Batty store. .com. If you guys would check that out, we've got some things coming up that we're pretty excited about. So, what else? What other questions do you guys have for us, or anything? Dr. Tent has good videos on YouTube.
Oh,
really?
On Thermony?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
so. Dr. Tent. Dr. Tent. All right. Big fan of homemade sauerkraut.
Love homemade sauerkraut.
Boy.
My grandmother
Let me tell you,
makes the
get
best
out.
sauerkraut, and I made some last year, and it did not rival hers. And she even helped me do it. I remember when I was a kid, she had these big crocks. I mean, she has one that's a 1 gallon, a 3 gallon, and then I think she had she's a 5 gallon, and then she had one that's bigger than that. It was pretty big.
Yeah.
So it was bigger than a 5 gallon bucket, and every year we would make sauerkraut, and you knew when Grandma was making sauerkraut because the house smelled like feet.
Yep.
But I love
Awful
her
feet.
sauerkraut.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so back onto the live chat. Speaking of your store, I want to order some more wash rags. Are there wash rags on the store?
There should be, yes.
We'll look.
Yeah.
Then.
I gotta show them the new thing that I'm
Oh yeah, Don and Terry is asking if the store is stocked back up, because we did have a rush. We did have a few people buying stuff.
And we had some pictures that weren't on there. So
And yeah, we've got some work to do, but on the other hand, we've been busy with the whole move and everything, so. It might be a little bit out of whack, but this is the newest thing Heather has been working on.
So last week you saw Kevin in his beard hat. So this is my one for infants. I have a beard hat for infants, and then I'm making one right now for a toddler. And so I'm going to have them in all different sizes, but this is for little guys so that they can have their beard.
Yep,
And
that's awesome.
So, yeah.
It's very cool. Yep. Now I want a Reuben sandwich. Okay, that's funny. All right. I have a 16-month-old grandson. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That would fit him perfectly and keep his face warm when he's going out in the cold winter.
Yeah. I think tomorrow maybe Katie and I will work together and make sure we have everything on the store. So so everything's there. We'll double check and make sure.
I love horseradish. I just putting that out there. We have a regular viewer that lives in near us. Near where we used to live. Her name was Sherry, and she makes homegrown horseradish. I can't wait to try some of that. Our grandson won't keep hats on. Well, this will keep his hat on.
It connects his chin.
It's like holds you in. It's definitely good.
Yeah, I made them for my boys. I made one for Kevin because I just told Max. Max is like, he was talking about how he wanted to grow this fantastic beard when he grew up. And I'm like, honey, genetics is working against you because none of my brothers or my dad could really they could grow it here, but here was always really sparse and patchy and weird looking. And Kevin is the same way, so.
Sherry from Two Family Homestead, I would love a starter of horseradish. That would be so.
That would be cool.
That would be so cool. I don't know if you were talking to me or not, but that would be awesome. I would love that. That would make me so happy. You want to make sure not to have kombucha come in contact with metal.
Okay.
And cool the tea down before adding it to your starter.
Yeah, no, I did that,
we did
and I
that.
don't think it came into contact with any metal. It was a plastic spigot that, well, I don't know, it had like that chrome finish on the outside, so that may have been what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now I'm just going to do it in a plain glass jar, and I'm going to have I have a flour sack cloth that I put over it with a rubber band so nothing can get in it. So, yeah, we'll give it a try. We'll see what it does.
That's right. So, tomorrow's a big day.
It is?
Tomorrow's a big day.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
The kids start school tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The kids start homeschool tomorrow. We did not fill you in on all of the mess of the Dayton City schools and how they don't return any phone calls.
I'll fill them in.
Get ready, brace yourself.
Okay, so
let me preface this. My wife doesn't rant very often. Wait, we got a question going back to the garden. Yeah. Before you rant, let's talk about gardening. Kevin, back to the garden. Plant garlic this fall to harvest it next summer.
Yes.
Ooh.
We should
all
do
right.
that.
That's a great idea.
We harvested our garlic too early this year.
Yeah.
So, because we thought we thought spring, so our garlic was really small. So.
Is it true that you want to like uncover the tops of it, or do you just keep it buried? And how do you maintenance that garlic? Because I'm just learning gardening. I'm not very good at it. So
somebody's asking what kombucha is. Kombucha is fermented tea. So that's what kombucha is. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's good. It's just an acquired taste. It's not always your favorite.
We cut ours with juice.
Yeah, we cut ours with juice.
So
and I have a favorite juice. I like the white grape peach to mix in with my kombucha. I don't do much, just a little smidge.
Yeah, I like about that much.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so.
Plant it and don't touch it until summer.
Okay, well, we touched it too soon.
We will fix that.
Yeah.
So, now, I'm going to preface this. This is going to be a little bit of a rant, so just be patient with us and pray for Heather. All right.
It's just frustrating. So, when we found out that we were going to move, well, actually, in, what was it, July?
Yes.
I had tried to contact the City of Dayton Public Schools to find out who I sent my intent to homeschool form, my curriculum overview, and my what is it called? My portfolio review. You have to have your child either has to take a standardized test or they have to have their schoolwork reviewed by a certified teacher. So we chose the certified teacher route. And so I called and got nobody. And so I called again and I got nobody. And so I looked, I'm like, okay, every place has some sort of homeschool department. So I called that department, got nobody. I've called that person 3 times, and I even called the superintendent. So we went ahead, and from what I understand, from what I've read, and this is where I will, we're not paid by them or sponsored by them or anything, but the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, if you homeschool, you would, it would be wise to be a part of it.
This is an investment.
Yeah, it's like $120 a year. But I cannot get anyone to call me back. So we went ahead and we sent it to the superintendent of the school, because for most schools, except for the county that we lived in before, we had to send it to the county and not the school that my kids would go to. So that threw me off. So I'm like, okay, so who do I actually send it to? So we went ahead and sent it to the superintendent. We sent it certified mail so that they had to sign for it. So I had proof that they got it. And I'm supposed to get back a paper from my records saying that we are in compliance with what the City of Dayton Public Schools needs. Mm-hmm. I've gotten nothing. And I have probably called the homeschool person a total of 4 times, the superintendent twice. Mm-hmm. I've tried, when you email them, they don't have an email address for them. You have to go through their website, and it's a general contact us, and so it goes into oblivion. So I don't really have any record of the emails that I've sent, because I emailed too, because I wanted a record of showing what I did. So I got in contact with the Homeschool Legal Defense Association saying, listen, I can't get anyone to call me back. And so I sent that email, and within 2 days, a gentleman had contacted me back, and he said, give me a timeline of, when you mailed the stuff out and who you sent it to and who signed for it and, all of that kind of stuff. And so I sent all that to him, and I even told him, like, this is the person I was supposed to talk to. I only got voicemail. This is the superintendent. And so now it is in their hands. So we're going to see what happens now, because I kind of need that paperwork. So, because I don't want to be doing this and not be in compliance. And the other thing too is when, like, everything that I did, I put on their letterhead, which you can get off of their website.
Not on Dayton's letterhead.
No,
but
on Homeschool Legal Defense Association. They have like a paper with their letterhead on it, because when it's just, this is my thought, when it's just a mom sending stuff in, it doesn't look super official.
Right.
When it has that on it, I'm hoping that they think that this is not somebody that you really need to mess around with. So, yeah. Because I'm not wanting to be a pain in the rear end. I just need the paperwork that I need.
Yeah.
And so trying to get somebody to contact me back has just been ridiculous. So,
they probably needed to get all lawyered up before they answered you.
Well, I mean, they didn't have to. All they had to do was send me the paper. So that has been like my frustration for this week. So, I've been kind and I've been nice, and, I know it's not the lady who is the operator. It's not her fault. So I'm not like angry with her, but it is frustrating that I cannot get anyone to contact me. And the thing is that we're homeschooling for a reason here. I mean, Dayton City schools are not ranked very high.
Well, we homeschool for more reasons than that. I mean, we have our own belief systems and we have our own reasons to do it, but they ain't convincing us to go any further. I'll be honest with you. But this has been an ongoing issue with the school system here. And don't get me wrong, there's some great teachers, there's some great people doing great work, but the administration sometimes puts their people second, and I think that's dirty pool. When we're doing schooling, whether it's homeschooling or whether it's public school, you got to put your people first, and there's just a lot that don't do that. So anyway, that's kind of our experience so far, and we're hoping that it'll improve, but we're not expecting it to. So if we have to, I know exactly where the Board of Education is down in downtown Dayton, and we'll drive down there and have a little, hey, how you doing? Let's have a meeting and talk with them about what's going on. So anyway, thank you, Coco Noel. There is a lot for us to do with homeschool this year, and you'll see some of that in our videos as we share them with you. So
my kids started today with just planning. We're going to kind of ease into it in the way that...
Whoa, sorry.
What is that?
It's not a video I was supposed to be watching later.
So, I'm all confused. What's going on?
Nothing's happening. You're fine.
So today what we did is we just did our planning for tomorrow, and because his day off is Friday, so that's kind of our day of rest.
Yep.
And we do things as a family. So Friday is kind of our Saturday. And so kind of ease into it. And with the curriculum that we use, we have grade level stuff, and then we have, which is like your reading, your writing, any grammar, math, things like that. And then you have year stuff, which they go at a 4-year cycle, and that's your history, your science, your history, science, music, physical education, things like that. So what I'm having them do is just do the grade level stuff tomorrow, and then on Monday we'll do the year stuff, which is the history, science, and kind of ease into it, because I think we're going to be moving to a more year-round school where we take longer breaks at certain times, like Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. Just so, because Miles came to me, he was like, "Yay, I get to start school." Because I'm gonna get smarter, and I'm like, okay. So,
I hope so, son.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of ease into it, and so like I have them sit down and they have a planner and they write what they have to do for that day, and then we'll check it off, and we'll just see how it goes. You know, we're not quite all there yet, just because of the move. You know, we still have to get the internet, because our curriculum is online based curriculum. So and again, like we use Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool, and it's online and it's free. And again, like, you know, we're not sponsored by them or anything, but they are what have allowed us to be able to homeschool our kids, because homeschooling can be expensive when you have to buy curriculum for 4 children. So it has worked well for us. Our kids really like it. So we're gonna be continuing doing that unless I feel like something needs to change. Like we had a discussion today of, I told my 2 oldest ones, I said, okay, anything that you have that has to be written out now has to be done in cursive. And Katie's like, what? And she was like, I don't like writing in cursive. So I'm like, I don't care. So
I didn't say I didn't like doing it. I just said that I wasn't used to doing it.
She wasn't used to doing it. But I told her, I said, I want you to be able to write in cursive. I just want them to be able to do that. I think that's something that's important that they need to know how to do, and they need to know how to do it well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and those are resources that we can bring to you guys, because we're experiencing and learning about homeschooling in a lot of different ways. And so we've got a few people joining us late that I feel like we need to say hi to. Wonderful Blessed Life, how are you? Thanks for joining us. And then there was a bandana. Grandma had to bail.
Wonderful Blessed Life. She only has 7 kids in her house now instead of 9.
Well, that's nice.
Yes,
wow.
It's only slightly less loud than like maybe standing next to Jetty.
Yeah. James, how are you? We're glad you're with us. Good to see you. And yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Okay. There it is. Yep. That's it. You know, it's funny. Max actually writes better in cursive.
He does. He actually has beautiful handwriting.
He does, and I think that's really important.
He'll never be a doctor because his handwriting is just way, way too nice.
Yep.
So
James, check out the beginning of our video. We talk about this cabinet and what it is and who made it and how how it ended up.
A smidge of an overview of what it is. It's an Amish built cabinet that we got when we lived in Maryland, and we didn't have a pantry, so I needed something to store food in. So it's nice. I like it. It's really well built. There's no like particle board shelves in it or things like that. It's really nice.
Yep. So. Oh, her teenage boys went to youth group.
Oh, okay.
There you go. They didn't leave the house forever. You just get a night off.
Yes, I had a night off last night.
You did. Yeah. You did. I have stuff going on with the church on Tuesday nights, and
he did an awesome job. There's no coffee bones in there. I hate when I get the grounds in
Way
there.
to go,
it's like
Jack.
coffee bones. Good job, Jack.
But anyway, last night was church night for us.
Yeah.
Which is a little different, but it works really well.
Youth group and stuff, and
And then Sunday night again.
So I had the house kind of all to myself, so I could kind of gather my thoughts and go, okay, what needs to go, and I found some certain things that. I wanted to hang on the walls because when we lived in Maryland, I was just, it wasn't home. And for me, when it's not home, I don't want to hang anything on the walls because I don't want to stay.
Right.
So,
yep.
But this is home. So I've got pictures that I'm going to be hanging on Friday when he's off. So we've got stuff to do. And there's one picture that I had been looking for, and it was one that my mom gave me. For Christmas one year, and it says, "I love you, a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck," and that's special to me because my dad used to take all of his grandkids and he would throw them up in the air, and he would say that as he was throwing them up in the air. And so my mom, after he had passed away, my mom had found this picture and had given one to each of us kids, me and both of my brothers, and it has a very special meaning to me, and I wanted to put it in a place of prominence. So I was like digging through everything trying to find it, and I finally did. So I'm like, yay! So,
it's funny, Don and Terry, I do say that because there's some things that you do because you love your spouse, and you don't make a big fuss out of it. You just keep your mouth shut and do it. Hanging pictures is one of those things. I'd rather have my toenails pulled out than hang a picture. But my wife is needing my help, and I'm going to do it because I'm a good husband.
They make them now where it's not just the thing in the center. You've got the two things on the side. Well, I have some pretty big picture frames too, like collages of our kids when they were smaller and some of our favorite pictures of them. And so I need somebody to help me hold them, and I need somebody to help me stay level. What?
Coco Noel, don't pick on my forehead. I'm going to wear a ball cap from now on. That's just funny. I don't know what to say.
I hate the two things on the side hanger things. Yes, it drives me nuts. But I understand why they do it because I have one it's almost the width of this cabinet. It's big and it's probably about like from here up. So
it's hypnotic, isn't it, folks?
So I'm gonna have to help me hang that stuff.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right, so we have to say goodnight. We are definitely over our time. Thank you guys for joining us for our live stream in our brand new home, and we are so excited about the potential and what God's going to do in it. Keep tuned to our channel. If you haven't seen us before, please like and subscribe. We are going to say goodnight. We have a couple appointments with with some Thrive Life friends. If you don't know about Thrive Life, check out one of our Thrive Life videos. If you don't know about Facebook, check us out on Facebook. And if you could, by all means, share this video if you like it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll keep the live chat open just so we can laugh along with you. But we do have an appointment we have to get to. So, guys, thanks very much. Have a great night, and as always, more updates as we go.
We didn't pray.
Oh, I forgot to pray?
You forgot to pray.
I do that sometimes. All right, let's pray, guys. I apologize. Father, I thank you so much for the blessing that this new homestead is to us. God, I pray that we would honor you with the way that we treat it, the way that we live in it, and the way that we act towards others around it. Father God, help us to be good neighbors. Help us to love the people in our neighborhood. And Father God, thank you for the opportunity to share your word and just friendship with these awesome, awesome folks. God, I pray for every prayer concern that's in their heart. I pray for everything they're dealing with. And I ask, God, that you would just renew in them a clean heart and a new spirit, God. Bless them as they go about their week and give them an extra strength and a little bit extra energy to get done what needs to be done. Thank you for the blessings of the day, and we lift you up in your Son's precious... We lift all these things up in your Son's precious name. And it was interrupted there. Sorry. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night. More updates as we go.